The search for love, who among us has never been there in that emotional labyrinth, sliding frantically, hoping for a connection that makes us feel complete? Hope and disappointment pull us like waves on the shore of our lives, and of course, the heartbreak, those moments when the love we pursue seems to vanish before our eyes, leaving us questioning if we are seeking something that will never come. Today, I want to tell a different story, a wiser perspective on love. One that isn't found by swiping through screens or waiting for text messages. It's a perspective discovered within oneself, ready to be revealed in the world of philosophy, especially in Stoicism. I found guidance in Stoicism that helped me understand why desperately pursuing love can be a path full of obstacles and suffering. This philosophy values self-discipline, authenticity, and self-reflection. Through Stoic practices, I learned to look inward instead of seeking external validation or solutions to my self-esteem and confidence issues. I discovered that love, in its most authentic form, is not found in another person but within oneself. So, a perspective was born, one that I want to share with you today. It's natural to desire love, to feel loved in our lives, but we often fall into the illusion that love is the magical solution to all our problems. We convince ourselves that finding someone special will fill us with joy, free us from worries, and grant us the sought-after peace. We hold on to the belief that love is the master key that will open the doors to a satisfying life, as dictated by societal standards. The pressure to have someone special in your life is constant, seen in friendships, on television, and on social media. However, even in romantic relationships, challenges and struggles persist. Idealized expectations can lead to disappointment, and we may find ourselves seeking love even when we are already in a relationship. As the Stoics teach us, it's not reality that disturbs us, but our opinions and expectations about reality. The illusion of love as a solution to our problems makes us believe that someone else can be responsible for our happiness. However, as Epicurus wisely said, do not spoil what you have by desiring what you have not. Remember that what you now have was once among the things you only hoped for. True Stoic wisdom reminds us that love is a valuable component in our lives, but it is not the answer to all our dilemmas or conflicts. Lasting happiness comes from personal discipline, authenticity, and self-reflection. Almost all of us have experienced being physically present but mentally stuck in the past or worried about the future. Practicing living in the present is like returning to the here and now, directing your attention to where life truly happens. The present moment is a precious gift, often underestimated and undervalued. We cannot change the past, and the future is uncertain, but the present, the here and now, is where we have the power to act and make decisions. Practicing presence allows us to savor every moment of our lives fully, even the small pleasures. Living in the present enriches our experiences, food tastes better, laughter is more genuine, and moments become priceless. The importance of living in the present is evident in our relationships, especially in the pursuit of authentic love. How can we build meaningful connections if our minds are elsewhere? Living in the present means being strong in the face of daily challenges and authentic in every interaction. It's not about acting but being real and sincere in your relationships. In summary, the undeniable urge to live in the present becomes evident as we continue our quest for love. Remember that happiness is not found in the past or the future but in the richness of the now. Have you ever felt trapped in a repetitive dynamic in your relationships? Perhaps you've wondered why you can't find love or why your relationship ended even when you did everything right. In this journey of self-discovery, let's talk about the value of personal growth and how it can transform your perspective in the search for love. Often, we seek love from a place of need, believing that another person completes our lives. However, as the Stoics remind us, no one is free who has not obtained liberation. The path of personal growth is a path of strength, facing and overcoming obstacles. As Seneca said, there is no favorable wind for the sailor who does not know where to go. The value of personal growth becomes evident when we confront our fears, take risks, and choose the harder path. Through personal growth, we can overcome fears, embrace imperfections, and build relationships based on authenticity and effective communication. Let's talk about a powerful tool that can completely change your approach in the search for love, self-reflection. In the journey to authentic love, self-reflection is crucial. It's not just about being silent with an empty mind, but delving deep into your thoughts and emotions. It's a conscious introspection that allows you to explore your inner self for answers. By examining your thoughts and emotions, you can discover harmful patterns that repeat in your relationships. Self-reflection helps confront these detrimental patterns, delve into the roots of your fears and concerns, and understand why they persist. The magic of self-reflection is not only in identifying problems but also in providing tools for change. You can work on your weaknesses, cultivate your virtues, and improve your relationships. Self-reflection is a compass guiding you toward healthier relationships. As you know yourself better, you become more aware of what you truly want in a partner and what you bring to the relationship. As Marcus Aurelius said, put your heart, mind, and soul into even your smallest acts. This is the secret of success. Enjoy the peace that follows self-reflection. It's not just work, it's the path to inner peace and more authentic relationships. Being a man from a Stoic perspective means embracing the value of personal growth, developing indomitable discipline and resilience. It teaches us that being a complete individual involves the constant commitment to improve and grow, not seeking externally what we already have within ourselves. When we seek love from a place of internal strength and self-acceptance, we create stronger and more meaningful relationships. The need to be accepted, loved, and validated is a reality in the society we live in. Driven by social norms, entertainment, and external expectations, we have been taught that to be loved, we must first meet certain standards of beauty, height, behavior, and even success. Social expectations lead us to tirelessly seek love, often losing sight of something crucial within us, self-acceptance. From a Stoic perspective, self-acceptance becomes the pillar of inner tranquility. As Seneca, one of the great Stoic philosophers, wisely expressed, life is short, and we have never too much time for gladdening the hearts of those who are traveling the dark journey with us. Oh, be swift to love. Make haste to be kind. This reflection brings us to a crucial point in this journey. Often, our desperate search for love and external validation distances us from constant tranquility. Constantly comparing ourselves to others, striving for unattainable standards, and filling ourselves with anxiety for not being good enough. Self-acceptance, according to the Stoics, is the act of embracing who we are with all our virtues and flaws. It is freeing ourselves from the need for external validation and finding peace and self-acceptance in a world obsessed with comparison and constant pursuit of more. Stoic philosophy invites us to find richness in accepting what we already have. Self-acceptance allows us to savor life to the fullest. As Seneca's quote suggests, find deep reflection in the search for love. We often forget the importance of being content with who we are in this moment. This phrase reminds us that true wealth is not found in validation and acceptance from others or in material possessions. True wealth lies in being content with our authenticity and living in harmony with ourselves. By accepting ourselves, we free ourselves from the emotional burden of external validation. This is the essence of why you shouldn't seek love but pursue self-acceptance before seeking external approval. Self-acceptance is not a denial of personal improvement but a solid foundation for it. By accepting our imperfections, we realize that authentic love does not require perfection. Self-acceptance allows us to be vulnerable, communicate genuinely, and build meaningful relationships based on authenticity. As Marcus Aurelius said, the true happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future. Independence, an essential value in Stoic reflections, is crucial in the pursuit of authentic love. In our quest for love, we often fall into the trap of losing our independence, focusing so much on finding someone to complement us that we forget what makes us unique. Instead, Stoicism calls us to focus on our actions, be the best version of ourselves, and cultivate relationships based on honesty and mutual respect. Understanding that external acceptance is not the key to happiness liberates us from the need to anxiously seek love. Instead, we find inner peace and serenity that allow us to appreciate relationships in their broader context. This emotional dependence, from a Stoic perspective, is a behavioral pattern we should avoid. As Marcus Aurelius reminds us, we should be willing to change our habits if we see ourselves becoming dependent individuals. Independence is a reflection of self-esteem and self-acceptance. When we commit to our passions, projects, and personal growth, we become more attractive to potential partners. Independence doesn't mean isolating ourselves from others but finding a balance. You can enjoy the company of others without losing your emotional autonomy. Independence is an act of self-love and self-respect. In the pursuit of love, maintaining your independence is crucial. If you are a complete person by yourself, you don't seek love as a solution to your insecurities. From a Stoic and masculine perspective, independence is a demonstration of strength and self-mastery. As Seneca said, true freedom is the independence of the mind. This statement invites deep reflection on what it means to have an independent mind in Stoic philosophy. It involves freeing ourselves from the slavery of passions, desires, and attachments. Independence of the mind implies not allowing emotions and thoughts to dominate our will. Stoics work to liberate themselves from emotional slavery, taking control of their minds and, ultimately, their destinies. In the pursuit of authentic love, Stoic philosophy introduces two fundamental practices, meditation and mindfulness. Meditation becomes a powerful tool for maintaining emotional independence. It helps us find balance in the turbulent waters of relationships, training us to be present in the moment, observing our thoughts and emotions without being swept away by them. Stoics believe meditation allows us to recognize that our emotional reactions are automatic responses, and we have the power to choose how to respond. Mindfulness is another crucial practice in the quest for authentic love. It enables us to maintain emotional independence by being fully present in our relationships, engaging in active listening, being aware of our emotional reactions, and practicing self-control. These two practices, meditation and mindfulness, are essential for Stoics to maintain emotional independence and not desperately seek love, which ultimately causes more pain. From a Stoic and masculine perspective, these practices provide self-control, mental serenity, and the necessary tools to face emotional challenges and make conscious decisions in relationships. In summary, the importance of maintaining independence should not be underestimated. Instead of seeking love to fill voids, find someone who values your independence and complements your life. Communication is the cornerstone of our relationships. However, we sometimes find ourselves caught in a whirlwind of misunderstandings, useless arguments, and empty words. Words can build or destroy, and from a Stoic and wiser perspective, we explore why effective communication is crucial to improving our relationships. Stoics teach us that effective communication is an art. It's about listening more than speaking, understanding more than imposing opinions. As Epicurus said, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth to listen twice as much as we speak. From a Stoic perspective, effective communication involves being authentic in what we say and being honest in expressing our thoughts. It's not about saying what others want to hear but clearly expressing our thoughts and feelings respectfully. Patience is a fundamental pillar from a Stoic perspective in the quest for authentic love. Stoics teach us that love is not something we can force or rush. Instead of desperately seeking love, we practice patience, knowing that time is an ally. Stoic patience involves resisting the temptation of impatience, frustration, or anxiety. Instead of seeing time as an enemy, we embrace it as a teacher from which we cultivate wisdom. Stoic patience also allows us to develop inner strength to face loneliness, rejection, and uncertainty in the pursuit of love. Stoic patience reminds us that authentic love is a process not governed by a calendar. As Marcus Aurelius said, nothing happens to anyone that they can't endure. This applies to others as well. They endure the development of Stoic pillars of patience and empathy. Effective communication strengthens our relationships and brings us closer to authentic love. It allows us to be vulnerable and share our desires, fears, and dreams. In the words of Marcus Aurelius, the secret of all victories lies in the organization of the non-obvious. Trying to please everyone is, from a Stoic perspective, an invitation to reflect on how seeking love and approval from others can cause even more pain. In our desire to please everyone, we often sacrifice our authenticity and our own needs. Stoics teach us that instead of seeking external acceptance, we should focus on strengthening our inner strength and finding love within ourselves. The relentless pursuit of love can lead to relationships based on unrealistic expectations and often makes us lose sight of what is truly important to us. Stoic philosophy teaches that true emotional wealth comes from authenticity, patience, and understanding our own needs and those of others. So, instead of trying to please everyone in the quest for love, let's focus on pleasing ourselves by being authentic and building relationships based on mutual respect and understanding. This is ultimately the key to discovering authentic and meaningful love that flourishes from within and is not desperately sought from outside in. In today's world, it's common to see people trying to fit into predefined social roles, acting artificially, and hiding their true essence behind a social mask. But what happens when we free ourselves from this mask and embrace authenticity? Stoics teach us that authenticity is a path to true freedom. In the words of Seneca, no one is free if they are not the master of themselves. True freedom lies in being ourselves without fear of judgments. Authenticity allows us to free ourselves from the burden of pleasing others and living according to our principles. In a society that often pressures us to seek love through external approval, authenticity becomes a guiding light. From a Stoic perspective, authenticity leads to deeper and more meaningful relationships. When we are authentic, we attract people who value us for our true essence, not for a fictional version of ourselves. Authenticity also provides the strength to face challenges with dignity. As Marcus Aurelius said, nothing has so much power to broaden the mind as the ability to investigate systematically and truly everything that happens in the universe. From a Stoic perspective, self-knowledge begins with daily reflection on our actions, reactions, and emotions. This practice allows us to identify patterns and understand what drives us. Self-knowledge is a fundamental part of authenticity, with Stoics believing that virtue is the supreme value, and each person must define what that means for themselves. Identifying our automatic reactions in conflicts or stressful situations is another aspect of self-knowledge. Introspection allows us to recognize these reactions and choose more conscious responses. A useful Stoic exercise is keeping a gratitude journal, noting what we value and what makes us authentic. Self-knowledge is not always a solitary path. Seeking the advice of a Stoic mentor or therapist can provide invaluable guidance on this journey of self-discovery. Embracing self-knowledge makes us more confident and authentic in our actions and relationships. In Epicurus's words, first, tell yourself what kind of person you want to be, and then act accordingly. If this video inspired you to seek wiser and more meaningful love, we invite you to take the next step. Don't forget to subscribe and activate the notification bell. We sincerely hope this message has been helpful to you. Congratulations on reaching this far and finishing the video, which means you want to improve as a person. If you liked the video, leave your comment. If you don't know what to comment, say, "I'm here, so I know you made it to the end." If you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe now and join us. Thank you for your attention. Until next time, warrior.